Well, I got cut off before I finished the last video, so I just want to make a few more points before I lay this to rest. Um, what happened yesterday. Now, like I said, I got cut off just when I was saying how I may be banned from Facebook because of what happened yesterday. If I am, that's fine. I'm not upset about it or anything. I have connections on Facebook, of course, to different people. It's how I keep in touch with certain people and keep abreast of what's going on with them. So it's going to be a bit of a pain. It's going to make me more out of touch than I already am, living back here in a camper. But, you pay a price sometimes when you stand up for your beliefs and for what you believe is right. And the thing that I find is, and a lot of people don't understand it, I feel like I'm called to do this. I feel like I'm called to be outspoken. I don't have a lot of gifts. I don't have a lot of talents. I really don't. But one of the few talents I have is I am very articulate. I'm good with words. I'm good at expressing my thoughts in a way that's intelligible to others. And I believe that I was given that gift for a reason. I wasn't given the gift of communication in the sense that I can communicate in such a way that I win people over. Especially females. I put females off in a big way. I have a way about me that they just don't like. And I don't know, they feel threatened by me or they feel upset or disgusted or something. I really don't know, but I have noticed that females tend not to be very receptive to me in the sense that if I show any romantic interest in them, it really upsets them. And I've had some even that they just take one look at me in a public place and they go off. They say, this guy shouldn't be here. I'm upset that he's here. And again, I don't understand that. There's an issue there. But the thing is, even with females, though, when I express my concerns and my thoughts about these issues that are affecting us today, even they get it most of the time. Even if they disagree with me, they at least understand where I'm coming from. And so I do, even though there's a problem there between myself and females, even though there's an issue there, and even though they do tend to find me repulsive and disgusting, when I talk about these issues, they understand where I'm coming from. So I seem to have that ability when it comes to these issues. And again, because I do believe in God, and I like I say, I'm not a great Christian or anything like that. I fall down all the time. But I do believe in God. And I believe that I've been given this gift by God to be able to express myself in an intelligible way, which not everyone can do. There's a lot of people with a lot of great thoughts locked up in their heads, but they just can't get them out the mouth. Not in a way that makes any real sense to somebody listening. I'm able to do that, and I believe there's a reason for that. I think we're all given the abilities we're given for a reason, and so I can't, in good conscience, be quiet. And I know that getting booted off social media and all that is a potential consequence of what I'm doing. I also know that it's beyond that. We're at the point now where it's going to be imprisonment and death. That's where this is headed. And under any oppressive regime, it starts out as they try to silence you. They'll burn your book. If you've written a book, they'll burn your book. They won't allow you to publish in the newspaper. They won't allow you to speak on the radio. They won't allow you to speak on the television. And of course, now we have social media with the internet, and it's just an extension of that. They censor you off those platforms. And so, for me, myself, nothing surprises me. I know my history. I know how it goes. I know how books get burnt and people get canceled or whatever, silenced, and so on, how the powers that be will do everything they can to keep you from being able to speak. If they don't like your message. And, frankly, they don't like my message. These organizations, like the one that I spoke against in Ottawa there with the rainbow flag and the gay flag and the heart and all that, um, they don't like people like me speaking out. These are taxpayer-funded organizations, by the way. They do take donations. They're supplemented by donations. But these organizations, they get tax money as well. They get government grants. As a citizen of the country, I have a right to have an opinion. I have a right to that, and I have a right to say what my opinion is. Now, people have a right to disagree with me. Like, look, the Todd fella there that threatened me or whatever, he has every right to disagree with me. He doesn't have a right to make threats and stuff like that, but he has every right to disagree with me. I'll uphold him in that. I think he's wrong in a big way, and I think he's advocating for the abuse of children. And so I'm going to openly say that that's what I think, whether he likes it or not. But, anyway, here's the thing. There's a time in life when we have to make a choice. We all come to various crossroads in our lives where we have to choose, do we go this way or that? And we have to make choices. Now, people will say, well, there's a consequence to your choice. You choose to speak out, you're going to suffer the consequences of that. Yes, I am. That's absolutely true. I am going to suffer the consequences of that. And, people like this Todd Reed fella, he may find out where I am. He may come here looking for me. That may happen. Who's to say it won't? And if he does, well, I will stand my ground and I will fight him at that point. But, that'll be a consequence of me speaking out, that I'll have to deal with that kind of crap. But the thing is, if I don't speak out, there's a consequence to that too. Because if I don't speak out, I can't live with it. I'll be so ashamed of myself for not speaking out that it'll eat me up. And that's the reason that I speak out. Because to me, what it would do to me internally not to speak out is far worse than what anybody can do to me externally. And as far as I'm concerned, if the state puts me to death for speaking out, if that's ultimately what happens, and I believe we're living in a state now where that could happen, that's within the realm of possibility at this point. As far as I'm concerned, that at least is a good and honorable way to die. I would sooner die for speaking out and die sooner than I would otherwise, than